Hey everybody, we're starting on our next game. It is Valley of the Kings Premium Edition. Woo! So yeah, we don't know if you guys have ever played. You're just trying to get you get a set collection. So some cards are like you see with statues, and then other cards like that. You just go ahead and collect as much as you can until the end of the game, and then it's like multiplied by itself. So 3 times 3. If you have 3, you do 3 times 3, 2 times 2, except these beginner cards. And then you got, yes, but you can only score them if they're in your tomb, which is an ability you can do once per turn on your turn. But yeah, what do you think of this game, Sarah? I think we played it once before.
I have played one time before. It's definitely unique. It's a deck builder, but it's a very unique deck builder for a couple reasons. One is because you only score the cards that you've entombed, and by its very nature, entombing a card removes it from your deck. So really good cards that you want to play and keep in your deck for a long time are usually worth a lot of points, but only if they're entombed, which removes it from your deck. So the entombing thing is pretty unique, I think, and then also the way that you acquire new cards for your deck is pretty unique. You can only purchase cards from the bottom of the pyramid. So if I take this card on my turn, then it goes to my discard pile like a normal deck builder. Then this card crumbles, the pyramid crumbles, and this card pops down to here. And then that forces this card to crumble and pop down to here, and then you get a new card and it comes out here. So it really forces players to strategize about which cards they're going to take so that they can determine, how to get the cards they want to crumble down so that it's actually available to them. And I think it's also a really good way to handle that sort of like dead card. If you play a deck builder, you'll know that like there's almost always a card in the card row at one point in the game that like nobody is buying. And in this game, it makes it so that like that's really, that's not a factor because everybody is trying to get this pyramid to crumble so the cards they want will fall down into the bottom of the pyramid. So, it's interesting. We've only played the one time, and it's I don't know that it's like gonna be my favorite game ever, even if I get into it a lot and really understand the game. I don't know that it's going to be my favorite game ever, but it's very interesting, and it's very it's a very thought-provoking game. So it's interesting to play, and we're going to give it a try.
Yeah, there's a lot of content for this one.
Yes,
lot of content. Tons of content.
Especially in the premium edition.
Because it's yeah.
So this game was initially published as 3 separate standalone games that could be combined, and the premium edition has all the cards from all 3 of those, plus some extra content as well. So there's a lot in this box, and we have just barely scratched the surface.
Alright, well let's get into it. Yeah. Alright, so we just finished Valley of the Kings, and we already cleaned up. We have something else to talk about. So, Sarah, how is Valley of the Kings?
I don't frequently feel the urge to rage quit, but seriously, I had a very hard time staying at the table for this one. I got really frustrated because I felt like the game was almost too tight, and I couldn't get the resources I need to buy the nicer cards, and at a certain point, those are the only ones available. Meanwhile, my opponent did have those resources, so he just every turn he was just like taking cards, at least 2 cards every turn, 2 like high value cards, and I was like either spending all of my cards to get 1 card, or I wasn't even able to afford 1 card. So I was pretty frustrated by that, and I feel like that's probably a user error. Right? Like, that's not necessarily a fault of the game, but I did not have fun, like, basically the entire time. On top of that, the box time on the game says 45 to 60 minutes, and I feel like we played for a lot longer than that. I feel like we played for at least 90 minutes, and we may have played for over 2 hours. if we didn't, it felt that way. And it was not because I was having such a great time. So in addition to like not having a good time, it was taking a long time to not have a good time. So all around, that was not a pleasant experience for me.
Yeah, I kind of felt bad during the whole time because like I was having a good time because of all the cards I was getting and all the abilities I was able to do, and like basically like yeah, my strategy was working out, so I was happy about that. But then just to kind of look up and feel another player at the table that wasn't having a good time, it's like.
And then I felt bad because I knew he was having a good time, but didn't want to have a good time if I wasn't having a good time. So it was just all around not a good time for me.
Yeah, but you stuck in, so everyone that rage quits, hey now.
I personally feel that rage quitting is a direct violation of your responsibilities to the other players. I feel like it's rude to the utmost degree and very selfish to rage quit a game. So I don't rage quit games, but like I said, I feel like if I was ever gonna do it, I came real close in that game.
So yeah, well, let's move on to Flashpoint.
We have tons of stuff for Flashpoint Fire Rescue, and we have never explored any of it.
Whoa, no! Oh, no! Technical difficulties.
We've never explored any of it outside the base game, so we are going to do that today. What should we start with?
All of it. But yeah, so I guess we start with maybe the first expansion, and then we move on from there.
All right.
That's what, you know.
Yeah, I think probably that's good.
Yeah, so let's do it.
All right.
All right, catch you guys on the flip side. What's going on, everybody? And we just won Flashpoint Fire Rescue. Woot!
We're playing the Urban Structures expansion, which we had never played before. So we played with like the simplest version of Urban Structures, which is this sort of duplex building where there are two different units, and there are no doors along the center here. So to move in and out of this unit into this one, or vice versa, you actually have to like go all the way outside the building or break a hole through the wall to get in and out of each side of the building. And the vehicles have to move further around the building, so it takes more action points to move the vehicles around the buildings. Yeah, because
there's where the buildings are, but then over here on the two other sides, there's nothing for the fire trucks to come in at. So you gotta, spend 4 actions, which is expensive. But we had the generalist, so he had lots of actions to spare, and then basically bank 1 each time he moved somewhere, so that was very helpful throughout this game. But yeah, I usually lose at this game very hard. I think Sarah mentioned this before off camera, that we got lucky because there was a bunch of fires that did not explode. There was all this
We actually had 3 hazmats to begin with. At the start of the game, we had to put out 3 hazmats, and we were able to keep any of that from exploding throughout the whole game.
Yeah.
We only had one... we only had to place 1 of the extra, flare-up tokens, which was really nice. And we only had explosions, I think, 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
So.
Awesome.
That's a good game.
Yeah. So, let's just add to our whole pile that we have played so far. It's glorious. Glorious!
There's actually another one on this side over here.
Yeah.
Skull King. Skull Dove.
Skull Dove, yeah. But then we also still have about so many games before we want to be done and finished.
I don't know that we'll get through all of them.
Yeah, but we're getting through a nice pile of them. But yeah, so awesome. All right, catch you guys on the flip side. Hey everyone, what's going on? We changed scenery. Now we're in the kitchen because Sarah is making some amazing chicken noodle soup.
Chicken and rice soup.
Chicken and rice soup. My bad. But yeah, so we got Faye going on here, and we're excited. This is a simple game, but it is a good one. It's a very pretty board and some very pretty pieces. Yeah, look at them pretty pieces. The terrain's nice. The artwork is just like it. I like it a lot. But yeah, the point is you get a secret scoring, so a secret color, and all druids are, a certain color, only 5 different colors. You score druids when there's no other druids around, so if we'll move them one by one in groups until like a druid is isolated, and then we'll go ahead and get the markers and go ahead and move them down. And so if you pay attention to what your opponent's doing, you can probably figure out what kind of color they are. And once there's no legal moves, where if you have if there's no more legal moves, or if all of the scoring cards are gone, then the game ends. So yeah, we'll be back with you guys in a second after we eat some chicken noodle soup and play some Fae. Alright, later. And alright everyone, we just finished our game of Fae. It was...
Yeah, the soup's ready.
And the soup's ready. And the chicken noodle soup is ready. Alright. So, let's see. We had some scoring going on. Yep. We had some miscommunication? Something like that?
Yeah,
Fiona?
halfway through the game, I forgot what color I was, and even though I could have just looked at my card and verified, instead I was like, oh, I know what color I am. And that was not the color I was.
It was my color that she thought she was.
So I mixed up my color and Nick's color in my own head and helped him for I don't know how long before I realized
It's late. What? It's like it's 12:40.
It's almost 1 in the morning.
It's almost 1 in the morning. Yeah, that's what happens when you game late. But you gotta commit to gaming late. All right. Well, this might be our last game of the night. I'm not sure, but we're gonna go ahead and enjoy some chicken noodle soup. So we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
You should tell me.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is another day of gaming, and today we're starting out with the Great Voyage from R&R Games. So we got it all set up. Sarah was just learning the rules, and we were getting through some questions. But yeah, excited to see how it is. I think we're kind of like, we played Fae, I think, the night before, and we wanted to play this one right after because I think they were somewhat similar, but I think we're kind of figuring out that that might not exactly be the case, but like in the movement of these bits is like probably one of the only like similar things. What do you think?
Yeah, at first I just thought that there might be some general similarities between the games, but after brushing up on the rules and having like thought about it a little bit more, I don't know that that's necessarily accurate. I think probably it's only going to be like in appearance that they are similar. So we'll see.
All right, yeah, we'll see. So let's get into the Great Voyage from R&R Games.
It's Humboldt's Great Voyage.
Oh, I'm sorry, Humboldt's Great Voyage.
Apparently he was more well known than Napoleon, I believe it was.
Yeah.
I've never heard of him before this game, so I don't know about that.
Samesies. But yeah, we'll see. What's going on, everybody? We just finished the Great Voyage.
Humboldt's Great Voyage.
Humboldt's Great Voyage. And I still know nothing about this gentleman. So, yeah. But yeah, this is kind of the aftermath that we had of the game. And
Guys! I lost by 1 point.
1 point.
Oh!
It'll get you in these games. 1 point. But yeah, it was pretty, it was a close
That's fun.
end.
I liked it.
Yeah.
It's a simple but deep game, I think. If you really wanted to think things out or math things out, you certainly could spend a lot of effort doing that. Nick and I just kind of like, let's see what happens, and we had fun with it. But I think if you wanted to, you could sit there and think quite deeply about it.
Definitely. But yeah, so it's interesting. It's nice moving around. Then you get your bits, and then you spend your bits and to get victory points. And it was kind of like not total inconvenience, but like there was nothing on the front of the cards to show what would be the back of the cards, except we figured out later that the point values were all the same. So that's how you kind of figure out what card was blue, what card was red, green, and yellow. But yeah, so if you're all interested, check it out. This is
I like it.
yeah, I'd recommend this game.
Yeah, me too.
But yeah, that and Fae. Fae's pretty good. It's simpler though.
Yeah, I think I think, like we said when we started, before we had started this one, we thought that there might be some similarities between Fae and Humboldt's, but I think that is very surfacey. The similarities are very surfacey, and I think that each fits into their own sort of category. Fae is definitely a lot lighter, a lot less complex, but I think if you want this sort of Mancala style play with any kind of strategy, if you want it to be light, then go with Fae. If you want it to be a little bit deeper, go with Humboldt's Great Voyage. But they're both unique, and they're both like pretty well produced. Fae has gorgeous table presence in my opinion, but does have a little bit lighter play. Not quite as much depth as Humboldt's Great Voyage.
Yeah. All right, well, on to the next game. After we clean up all of this. Hey everybody, we have a question before we start our next game. What is your board game spirit animal? Whether it's a company's logo or or from a game. And obviously, I don't think y'all can guess it, but I'm gonna say the TMG dragon from TMG. So let's move on to Sarah and see what she has to say. Ooh.
Okay, I've narrowed my choices down to 3 potential spirit animals that I relate to in board games. The first one is the dragon from Clank, because I just want to hide in my dark cave with my shinies and I don't want anybody to touch my stuff. The second one is the vagabond from Root, because while everyone else fights over control and talks politics and trash, I just want to go off into the woods and harvest berries and make things. And then the third would be the panda from Takanoko, because I like to eat. What would yours be? Let us know.
Yeah. So let's go see what our next game is. Oh, and speaking of spirit animals, it could be the wingspan bird. But yeah, so our next game is Wingspan. I really like this game.
You say that about every game.
I guess there's varying degrees of likeness. I do have a problem with that sometimes when if you actually like hit me with questions about the game, I'll be like, I like these aspects. And I think that's what I mean more of the time is I like these aspects of a game. But
always something to like, right?
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Yeah, most of the time. But then there are games I'm like, rage, disgust, outrage. Well, not that much, but just not my cup of tea. But yeah, so we got the nice BGG
so I had
bits.
a dream the other day.
I
was like, in my dream, I was like, hey, Nick, you want to play Monopoly? And you're like, yeah, let's do it. And I think it was a nightmare. I think that qualifies as a nightmare, not a regular.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I would agree, because then all of a sudden you just play the basic one, not the no like.
Yeah. It was like we just brought out old school Monopoly and like played Monopoly.
Scary. Okay, old pieces.
Okay, so
old pieces or new pieces.
I don't know. I was trying to block.
I was just trying to block that out.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, I'm trying to get out of this dream as fast as I can.
No hate on Monopoly. If you like Monopoly, good for you. Everybody should be able to enjoy their game of choice. But hopefully you have discovered or will discover games that you like even more, or at least just as much as Monopoly, because there are some fantastic games that have come out since Monopoly.
Awesome. All right, well, let's get into it. Let's jump in and we'll catch you guys after we're done playing. Hey everybody, now we're done with Wingspan, and our winner is, drumroll, Sarah.
I had 87 points. Nick had 74 points. Ignore these first 2 columns, that's from a previous game. But yeah, there's our scores.
Yeah. All right, well, again, it's a pretty good game. Oh gosh, I've been saying that too much. It's good, okay? And then people are in the comments going to be like, well, it won all those BGG awards and keeps winning awards.
Nick
no
loves
comment.
All the games.
I do, and, well, most. But there are things I will like less about other games. So, yeah. I mean, so pretty.
I think you said that last time.
Oh,
in fact, I think
boy.
I said that you like all the games last time.
Oh, gosh. All right. Well, hey. Yeah, it's a very pretty board. I mean, the birds, yeah, it's a gorgeous game.
I don't know that I feel like it's a super terrific game. I
Yeah.
mean, it's definitely a good game, but I don't know that it's deserving of all the hype.
Yeah.
But it is lovely.
Yeah, that's our opinion. So take it or leave it.
Oh, I missed a tucked card.
You know what?
So I
you know
actually
what?
have one additional point.
Oh my
It's gonna
gosh.
be
Let's
88
just
to
88. Just
74.
grind me in the dust. Just right, yeah. All nice and fine like. Jeez. All right. Well, we'll talk to you guys later and see you when we play a new game. Toodles. Everybody, what's going on? I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit of a break. I'm going to go on a run, and Sarah is going to do some things around the house. But we'll hopefully meet back soon so we can play more games. How is everything going with you guys? Hope it's going well. Hope you guys are getting games in like we are. And I hope you guys are enjoying this video content of our board game vlogs over on Meeples on the Ground. Well, we will be back soon, and hope you guys are doing well. And we'll talk to you guys later. I wonder what game we're going to play next and who's going to win. Probably Sarah, because I've been on a losing streak. Alright, talk to you guys later. Bye. Hey everybody, we're back and we are going to go ahead and start playing the Isle of Cats. We've just been tearing this game up and my wife has been smashing cookies.
Yeah.
Because she is a great chef and always makes good pastries. And we have the cookies to prove it. All the cookies to prove it.
These are flourless fudge chunk cookies. And I was specifically looking for a recipe that did not have flour in it because flour has been very hard to find in my area. Because during the pandemic, everyone has started baking, which I love, but I was doing it before it was cool. So it's frustrating that it's hard to find things like flour and yeast and stuff like that. But this recipe doesn't call for any flour. It's amazing. It's like a massive sugar kick in the face though, because it is made primarily with powdered sugar and cocoa powder. So it is very like right in the face.
Kicking the
all
face.
that, yeah, with all that sugar and sweets. It's very good though. Has a really good texture. Really, really beautiful flavor. And it was really easy to make. I mean, like as easy as, a pre-made mixture like a Betty Crocker or something like that. So I think this is probably going to replace my Betty Crocker little pouches.
Throwing shade on Betty Crocker. You suck, Betty Crocker. Get woke. Such a beautiful game.
It really is.
And we have our bits, and we call these our baguettes. These
Our baguettes, our card holders.
card holders. So yeah, and then we have a cat
And
roaming
we have
around.
to say we have our own little cat. Uh-huh. Do you want to be in the video?
Yes.
There's
Yes.
our pretty baby.
Poor baby.
There's our pretty baby.
Poor baby.
That's Sam.
Yeah.
He's my boy.
Alright, well let's get playing the games. Alright everybody, so we just finished Isle of Cats. Oh boy.
did not.
So what happened?
Not go well for me. I was trying a thing. Didn't work out.
Famous last words?
I got the 25 points if your boat is full lesson very, very close to the beginning of the game. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to try it. So for like the majority of the game, I just tried to get like as many baskets as possible and like buy fairly inexpensive cats so I could afford to get a bunch. But you may be able to tell my boat still has huge open areas. So I did not do very well. So yeah, that was how my game went.
I mean, mine still had some open areas, and I had 3 unfinished rooms, so that was like negative 15 points, but I did get a lot towards my lessons, so that's what really helped me out.
I did not. I had I think 5 private lessons that I was attempting to complete, and I picked ones that should sort of gel together fairly well. Like I had the 25 points if your boat is full, and then I also said 15 points if you have 3 or more of each color on your boat. And then I did like one where if you had a cat from each color touching the edge of the boat, you got points. And stuff like that. So I tried to do ones that would sort of like work together to help me fill up my boat. And it's still, I needed to be rescuing like way more cats than I was rescuing. Which I was rescuing a lot. I was rescuing like at least 2 cats every turn, and it still just wasn't Wasn't enough.
I feel like the lessons are swingy. Well, they will definitely make or break a game. I feel like
I mean, it's up to you which ones you choose to keep in the draft. But yeah, if you go after ones that are like pretty darn hard to get, then I suppose so.
Yeah, but if it's pretty darn hard to get, they usually pay off. With
Yeah,
like
I mean that would have been
25
25 freaking points. You know, if I would have had 25 points, I still wouldn't have beat you, but I probably would have been able. I probably would have been up by about 40 points. Yeah, if I could have pulled off those two lessons I was not able to pull off, I would have beat you by 3 points, theoretically. So, but I mean, I still had a good time. I really, really like this game. So even though my attempts did not actually work out for this game, it was still a lot of fun.
I also feel like you just never save enough cats before the end of the game, where the theme is like this horrible pirate comes and is like going to kill the cats. It's like, well, you can't save all of them, so now like
He's
the
like
ones.
gonna destroy the island.
Yeah.
So all the cats that are on there, like they don't get saved unless you save them. Essentially,
It's sad because you have to get rid of the ones that you don't save. And
I just like to pretend in my head that there are a lot of these boats off the shore of this island, and we see what the like two of us are doing or what other players in this game are doing, but there's still like a bunch of other boats out there rescuing the cats, so that like it's not like all the cats are like slaughtered by Vesh.
yeesh.
What an awful dude.
Yeah. All right. Well, this was a fun game as always, and we really enjoy it. That's why we got the expansion for it. We played with some
Yeah.
expansion cards
Yeah, we had some of the modules from the expansion included in this game.
and some of the expansion kitties.
Yeah, I like the new cat shapes.
Yeah, because
in the
there's the
expansion-
one with it's just the square was really
Yeah,
nice to
I was gonna
have.
say these are some of the expansion cats, I think. Where's a good place to put them here?
Yeah.
So these are some of the expansion cats, and they're a little bit more basic shapes. Some of the ones from like the base game, and I'm sorry if these are not actually from the base game or whatever, but like some of these, they're like really oddly shaped cats. So it's nice to have some of these more basic shapes in there, because the combination of the two really helps when you're trying to like puzzle together how to fit the cats on your boat. It's really nice to have some more basic shapes. These are cool, and this is what was like in the base game, pieces like this, but it's nice to have more of a balance between odd shapes and like a little bit more basic shapes, because it gives you just more flexibility about how to put the cats on your boat.
Definitely. All right. Until next time. Bye-bye.